Information reaching Joy News indicates that there's been an exchange of blows at Busunu between NDC and NPP in Damongo in the Savannah region as John Dramani Mahama arrived for late Queen Mother's funeral. Let's speak to the NDC and the NPP Savannah regional secretaries for details. First, I have with me Biawuribi Salisu. He is the NDC Savannah regional secretary, joining us live for more. Salisu, what have you gathered regarding this particular incident earlier today? All right, so I think we're having some challenge reaching you, but let's switch to Isa Mohammed, who is the NPP Savannah Regional Secretary in that region. Isa, tell us, what really happened earlier today?
So, good afternoon to you, join us, and then good afternoon to your able viewership. I think rightly so, there was actually not exchange of gunshots or blows. It was actually an attack on some personalities from our side. I mean the NPP. Who were scheduled for the same funeral of the late Busunu because the chief of staff was billed for the funeral. And so we had led an advance team to the place. So after we picked the chief of staff, the MP for Damongo, lawyer Samuel Abu Jinapo, and then the Savannah Regional Minister, Honorable Muaz Jibril, joined with the regional chairman. Whilst we were about to leave, we heard of gunshots from the ground. Apparently, the advance team had informed us that when the former president got to the scene, they had some altercations with a military man, out of which the warning shots or the gunshots came. As to whether it was between, there was some exchange of the gunshots from the other side, we are not able to tell, but there were gunshots before we arrived there.
Okay.
Then after we arrived, we saw heavily built men who are coming from our neighboring region. They were led by the first vice chairman of the NDC, Azoka, as we all know him, and as we all know his exploits and what he's known for. He came there with those Tamale boys. We know each and every one of them. I have stayed in Tamale. I have my family in Tamale. I know each and every one of them. And before our entourage got in, they picked on two of our guys and beat them mercilessly. In fact, this was done in the full glare of the public. We thought the security was going to do something about it. Unfortunately, they only rescued the guys after they had beaten them. As we speak now, I had to ask that they take these two guys to the hospital.
Okay.
So basically, it was an attack that was perpetuated by the NDC, in fact, engineered by the national first vice chairman of the party, with boys from the northern region. Actually, they are not, none of them is coming from the Savannah region. They are all from the northern region.
Okay, Isa, hold it there for us. Let's also get the account of Salisu, who happens to be the regional secretary for the NDC in a particular region. Salisu, what really happened from where you sit?
I think that it is the usual rowdy and uncultured and uncouth behavior of some of the apparatchiks of NPP when they came to the grounds of Busunu, who unfortunately were paying our last respect to the Queen Mother. This is an uncalled for incident. And I heard my kid brother from the opposite trying to even raise an issue which he was not even around at the start of it, but yet he's trying to blame very innocent people. How did it happen? The entourage of His Excellency, the incoming President, John Dramani Mahama, was coming to the venue of that funeral celebration. That is the Busunu Town Park.
Okay.
From Tamale direction. And from the Tamale direction, you get to the Busunu Town Park itself before you get to the community of Busunu. But their apparatchiks decided to bring a branded NPP Toyota Hilux pickup, despite that, and came and blocked the way of the former president, his entry. Despite security telling him to move because there is this high-powered delegation which was coming to the first council, he disobeyed, and it caused some uproar because people wanted to clear him, and his presence there was a security threat, invariably. So on the basis of that, the security man came, tried to dispel the people who were around, and tried to ask him to move, but he would not back. But, and that was the point of tell the people from that provocative act of the MPP apparatus. Yes, that was cool enough. After the former president started, the program has even long commenced. The imams have said the prayer, and the tribute was being read by the former president, by the family. They were finishing up the tribute before the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Abu Jirapo, Samuel, then the Chief of Staff, Honor Premao Parish, and their entourage were coming from the Damongo station with a large retinue of people to the arena. So when the security then said that no, you cannot, the program has commenced and it is at the stream. There are several dignitaries who are around. Allow your big men to go in and then sit and do the necessary courtesy greetings. But that light and truck coming in there at the area to disturb the program is not good. Then they changed up with the security. This was the cause of that kind of incident. They were pushing the security. Then, in fact, the numbers of the security were not quite enough, but yet they tried their best to train them, and yet they will not.
Okay, Salisu, I think we've gotten.
Of course.
Hello, Salisu.
They know that within the Savannah region and in the area, if this numbers and support this, we are far overwhelming them. So when indeed they are trying to be provocative in that kind of sense, you can be sure that others will also resist. Okay,
Salisu, thank you. Thank you so much for your side of the story. But I want to find out from you, what is going on at the program? Is the program going on smoothly where you are now? What can you tell us about the former president?
The former president is at the Savannah Regional House of Chiefs, which is meeting at the Japa Palace. Presided over by the king, Busunu, the first. And the program is currently ongoing.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Salisu and Issa Mohammed from the NPP side. But before we go, Issa Mohammed, how do you react to Salisu's claims that actually it was some of your supporters who actually attempted blocking the former president, and you were not on the ground? He seemed to have been there and witness. In 30 seconds, how do you react to what he's been saying?
That's obviously not the case. I told you that we were not on the ground when they were having those gunshots. We only had a skeleton, just about 2 guys who were on the ground there. And those 2 guys couldn't have stopped the former president's vehicle from...
Okay. Mahama has been speaking to a local radio station, and on that particular story, our correspondent Nana Yaojima joins us with some details of this conversation. Nana, what has the former president been saying about this incident that happened earlier today?
So at the funeral service, the former president of the country and also flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, had the opportunity to speak to the people who had gathered there. And when he was speaking, he made sure that he spoke to the issues that happened earlier. What he said is that he condemned the incident. He believes that it was unnecessary for gunshots to be fired at the event. What was important was for them to mourn the deceased and also make sure that they give the deceased the necessary farewell service as was expected by the people who were gathered there. So he called for calm among the people that were gathered at the funeral service. Presently, the flag bearer of the NDC has proceeded to the Jaffa Palace, where he is commencing his one-day tour to the Savannah region. Here he is meeting the Savannah Regional House of Chiefs. And presently, the meeting is ongoing. The chiefs are speaking as I talk to you now. From here, he will move on to meet some people of the professional body here within the Savannah region. And as you know, the Building Ghana tour is supposed to be a listening tour. He will be listening to these people, getting their concerns, and these concerns will feed into the NDC manifesto for the 2024 general elections. From there, he will also meet people in the informal sector, and after that, there will be another meeting with some students. That will be a Campus Connect event here in Damongo. So the former president will be in the Savannah region for a day, meeting various stakeholders, taking their opinions and ideas to help fine-tune the NDC manifesto for the 2024 general elections.
Thank you so much, Nana Ojima, for those updates. We'll still keep our eyes on the size movement, and then we can assure our viewers that we'll get details of what actually will come out of that. Now,